iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in here, race fans, to the Five Flags Speedway here tonight for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Short Track Scrambler Series, presented by Red Light Racing. It's one of the most historic tracks for super late model racing in North America, and here tonight we take it on iRacing.com. To bring you all the racing action here from the historic Five Flags Speedway, my name is Roger Muth. I'm joined here tonight by one of our co-hosts from the New York area. It's Al Smith. Al, welcome here for the first time this season with Red Light Racing as we throw the Scrambler Series out on track.
Yeah, the Scrambler Series here in Pensacola, Florida. Yeah, it's in the central time zone, but nighttime, lights are on, track's going to be gripped up with multiple lanes of action coming at you for round number 5, Roger, and it's been a very competitive first 4 rounds, and tonight, well, we're in the super late model.
That's right, the first time we've been in the super late model all season long, the first time ever here on the short track side portion of things. As we get ready to go racing here tonight, let's take a look here at the Six Rings Racing starting lineup here tonight for round number 5. Scott Duncan will snag the pole here. He showed a lot of speed here in the first 4 rounds of the season. He'll snag the pole. Starting to the outside, the driver out of Florida, driving the Rev Esports number 2 here tonight. That's Michael Trevarthen. Starting back in 3rd spot here tonight, having another solid qualifying effort, it's the Bragg Motorsports Jiffy Lube number 31 of Dave Bragg. Starting back into the 4th spot, it's the Six Rings Racing number 6 of Eric Stout. He'll roll from P number 4. It's the Higgins Hill Racing number 40 Checkered Flag Auto Supply of Rob Higgins. He'll roll from 5th. While the Tampa, Florida driver out of the Rev Esports Group, he's never lost a race here at the Five Flags Speedway, pretty much. As his words, it's car number 1, Dalton Williamson. Starting back into the 7th starting spot, it's the JL Audio number 25, the California driver of Rob Haynes. Back into the 8th spot here tonight, it's the Mr. Confusion Motorsports number 18, that's A.J. Hamill. It's the Granny Hips Walkers and Canes entry, the number 13 MA of Joshua Buckley, he'll go 9th, and the Beefy Motorsports number 38 of Brandon Feeney will roll from 10th.
Starting 11th will be Brian Bianchi from the New England area in car number 5. Outside of him, the driver from the racing school, this is Dan Butler in car number 8. Aiden L. Vecchione in car number 271 will start 13th, and outside of him in row number 7, this is Trey Metz in car number 9. Mark Jenkins and Doyle Lawrence will make up row number 8. In the last and final row number 9, A.J. Watkins, and outside of him, the veteran, the number 30 of Bob Higgins. That's your 18-car field for your Six Rings Racing starting lineup.
This time by, we're going to drop the hammer here tonight at Five Flags Speedway. 100 laps is the scheduled distance. The super late models here out onto the speedway for the first time with red light racing. As we're getting ready, it will be 18 drivers to hammer down 100 laps here tonight in Pensacola, Florida. Slow roll to the restart zone. Green flag into the air for the first time as Scott Duncan and Michael Trevarthen very close down into turns number 1, trying to see who's going to have it out of turn 2. It'll be Michael Trevarthen just by a little bit now. As he goes into 3, he will extend the lead. First lap will go to Michael Trevarthen.
Trevarthen out front quickly over your poles that are Duncan. And right now it's just about getting into position, getting where you go. This track likes to eat these Hoosier Racing tires on the super late models. We got a side-by-side battles. That was quick-lived as the number 1 of Dalton Williamson up 2 spots from 6th to 4th already, as he just worked underneath the number 6 of Stout to move in the 4th, 1 spot outside of a top 5. That's the 18 of Mr. Confusion himself, A.J. Hamill. He's got the 40 of Higgins, breathing down his neck off of turn number 4.
They also got the JL Audio number 25 right there of Rob Haynes. They can't shake him away from this group. That Toyota running about a half a car length up the speedway right now. One driver that's riding down around the bottom side. He's solo here tonight. It's the 505 Motorsports driver. That is Brian Bianchi in car number 5. There you see the Culpeppers Bakery Cafe riding on board him. He's back there right now behind the checkered flag auto supply number 13 MA of Joshua Buckley. Buckley riding into currently the 9th position. Bianchi back there into the 10th spot as you see that 5. That Mustang get real close to the back of the Granny Hips Walkers and Canes entry. Not quite able to do anything with it. Out front still here tonight at Pensacola after 5 laps here at the Five Flags Speedway. That's still going to be Michael Trevarthen. Everybody pretty much here tonight has gone single file formation. Brandon Feeney was short-lived with Mark Jenkins side by side. There you see the Trey Mitz entry back into the 15th spot. He has dropped 1 spot since the drop of the green flag. He's currently sitting 1 spot better than the 0-1. That's A.J. Watkins. 2 rookies right now running 15th and 16th, tracing down. Well, the driver that's in that rookie championship contention, he's out front here running into that 2nd spot. That is Duncan. Battle for 3rd is starting to rage on.
Yeah, Dalton Williamson is grilled in the number 31 of Bragg. He took a peek to the inside. Couldn't do quite anything with it off of turn number 4, so he'll tuck it back up as he looks to make another move. And as he did that, Stout and Hamill also closing into a 4-car battle as the leaders start to stretch that lead. Already a second back to that number 3 spot of Braggs. Braggs trying to hold on to it, but Dalton Williamson trying to make a move this time. Keeps the nose down low, gets the air on that front end. That helps it turn off the corner. He is applying a lot of pressure. The driver, that number 1, Dalton Williamson.
He's one of those drivers he's the only driver that has real-world experience racing here at the Five Flags Speedway. He's raced here a couple times over his racing career. There's only 2 other drivers in the field that have even seen the Five Flags Speedway, and that is the race leader of Michael Trevarthen. He says, yes, it is really this dark here at the Five Flags Speedway. If you're tuning in here tonight, watching us on YouTube, it is dark out here on the Speedway. The lighting not that great, and the driver that also could attest to that, it's the driver of the number 21 of Dan Butler. He was the track photographer here for multiple years down when he lived in Florida. Now, of course, he lives up in Massachusetts. But while he was down there, the store Magnet had some pictures that he was taking, and he said he pretty much had to stand underneath a light pole to get a good picture. One driver has some issues. It's the number 9 of Trey Mitz. He's down to the inside. Caution. Oh, boy. Caution lights are coming back on.
Oh, someone got him. I believe that was the number 5 of Bianchi. That clipped him. Heavy left front damage to that Ford Mustang. The Culpeppers Bakery, number 5. Heavy front end damage, Roger.
Yeah, it looks like Trey Mitz also has some front end damage now. It looks like he's able to get that car refired. He also has a ton of rear end damage now on that Dr. Noise paint schemed number 9. So let's see as he rolls away. The driver out of Atlanta, Georgia, Trey Mitz, bringing out the first caution flag of the evening. We're taking a look back here. There goes Brian Bianchi. He's going to head to pit road. He's got tons of damage on that Culpeppers Bakery Cafe number 5 machine. Take a look back here. This is what happened to Trey Mitz. This is what we can find. He was running back into the 14th position. Or sorry, that was the 15th position. Looks like the 2 rookies get a little connected there. No contact for the 9 there to the inside retaining wall. Did get a little piece of that cone down there. That's the pit exit cone. And then he backed it up, and unfortunately, here comes the race leaders, and nowhere for Brian Bianchi as the caution lights weren't displayed, and then all of a sudden they were displayed. Let's see here. Let's see if we can ride on board with the number 5 of Brian Bianchi. Let's see what he's able to see right off the driver's side. See, he was working underneath the Joshua Buckley entry as he comes down into the corner. You don't see anything. You don't see anything. And then all of a sudden, there's going to be that 9 car. Tough break.
Tough break. You don't expect anybody to be sitting there like that, and boom, that's right down where you want to be. You want to be painting that white line through turns 1 and 2. And Josh Buckley also heavy front end damage to the Granny Hips Racing number 13. Roger's got to wonder if that is going to affect the cooling of that car and if it did any damage as far as engine damage is concerned. That could definitely be lowering the RPM. That car could be wounded for the remainder of tonight.
Yeah, as it comes by here, it does sound like that motor sounded like a bunch of plumbers banging on pipes here. That doesn't sound altogether underneath the 13MA's hood. We'll keep a close eye contact to see what happens with Joshua Buckley here tonight. Brian Bianchi is back down pit road here as he has extensive damage on that number 5 entry. Trey Mitz has returned back to the racing surface, but he will be scored 2 laps behind the race leader's pace here currently. We'll see if he can make some of those laps up here tonight. He just has a lot of rear end damage actually on that car. So while we get ready to restart here tonight at the Five Flags Speedway, it will be Michael Trevarthen in car number 2. He'll start down to the inside. He's got Scott Duncan to the outside. That'll be the 31 of Dave Bragg in row number 2 to the inside. And Dalton Williamson, the 3-time champion here on Thursday night, he'll restart into the 4 spot. Eric Stout, AJ Hamill in row number 3. iRacing.com safety car off the racing surface. Next time we hear these motors come alive, it'll be the restart after the first caution flag here tonight at the Five Flags Speedway. Barney has the flag and he waves it green. We're back racing here tonight at Five Flags.
Good launch by the outside at number 989 as Scott Duncan unable to clear their race leader Trevarthen, but he'll leave the door open to the inside. Here comes Bragg down the inside. He can't do anything with it as door was slammed quickly. They are still 2 by 2. AJ Hamill working the outside of the speedway. He'll roll to the outside of Dalton Williamson into that 5th position. Williamson will fight back. That's a good side-by-side battle for the 4th position between AJ Hamill and Dalton Williamson.
Top 3 hold their spots there on the restart. So it's still Michael Trevarthen, Scott Duncan, Dave Bragg. But now Dalton Williamson, who restarted in 4th, has AJ Hamill battling, and he will actually win the battle. So your top 5 will stay the same here on the restart. Hamill back to running into the 5th spot. He'll slot himself ahead of car number 6 there. You see the 6 Rings Racing number 6 of Eric Stout, Rob Haynes, and then, well, you got to go all the way back here to the 10th position, Aidan Alvecchione. Moving up here tonight, the fan favorite, 271, the driver out of South Carolina. Moving up on the outside, he's got around the number 21 of Dan Butler. Butler in the all-orange number 21 here tonight. As he rolls the bottom side of the speedway, Butler going to sail it off into the corner, so to Alvecchione, and that is going to lose ground for both those drivers over Mark Jenkins, who has moved up 6 spots here tonight. Slide job coming from the 21, not quite able to get clear of the 271. And Alvecchione will back out of it out of turn number 4. He will give it to the number 21 of Dan Butler. Alvecchione back to running into the 11th spot. Brandon Feeney's right behind him. And that's AJ Watkins, Joshua Buckley, Doyle Lowrance, and Bob Higgins. Trey Mitz, 2 laps down, running into the 17th spot. 17 cars out of the 18 cars. Still out on the speedway here as we're 25% into this race. Next time by.
That they are. They work down the backstretch, and it is a 0.3 of a second lead for Trevarthen over Duncan, Bragg, Williamson, and Hamill. And Williamson now starting to apply the pressure once again as Bragg clipped the inside wall. Looked like that time loose off of turn number 2. Keeps the inside line protected, though, right now. The tires are still fresh enough, but Roger, if we get into a long enough run and you get to the outside of someone, you can hold them off. You can make some time up there. You can pinch them down and get their momentum broke. And you can really make some moves on the outside of this racetrack in a long run. And as I say that, Williamson takes a peek to the outside. Can't quite do anything with him. Looks to be a little bit better now. Peeks to the inside down the turn number 1. The number 1 of Williamson going to try to take the 3rd spot away. He will do so easily off of turn number 2.
A.J. Hamill not close enough to capitalize on that move by the number 1 of Dalton Williamson, so that'll move Bragg back into the 4th spot. A veteran move there by the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. Now what will A.J. Hamill do? He just saw the move that Williamson put on Bragg. Will he be able to set that up over the next handful of laps and see if he can get the Mr. Confusion Motorsports number 18 past the number 31 of Dave Bragg? We'll have to wait and see. It'll be 30 laps when they come back around here. Williamson very close to that inside retaining wall there, the pit exit wall. I don't know if he quite clipped it or not, but that car did look like it bobbled just a little bit. Those are the mistakes you don't want to make here tonight at the Five Flags Speedway, because these are high-speed racing. You really want to keep that momentum up, and if you damage that left front quarter panel, it could be an aerodynamic deficiency for these drivers here tonight, because this, yes, it is a short track, but with the high speeds here with the super late models, you'll want to have all 4 quarter panels straight as can be.
Definitely do. And the other key is keeping that car straight as possible. Up off the corners, you can really wear out the right rear, make it unhappy with you if you really hang it out here on this Five Flags surface. And you want to hug down into the middle of turns 1 or 2 and 3, or 3 and 4. I'll spit it out eventually. In 3 and 4, you can really make up some time there. Right now, your top 5 all separated out by pretty equal distances. All the way back here to Stout, and the 40 of Rob Higgins starting to close in on Stout as he'll try to run away from the 25 of Haynes.
Yeah, right now Rob's kind of sitting back here. He's got Mark Jenkins in the mirror, but the battle that was good on the speedway. That's the 271 of Aiden Navecchio. Here comes the Tim Hortons Dodge, the number 38 here tonight of Brandon Feeney. Feeney gets to run a late model up in Canada, so this car kind of up his wheelhouse. Right now he's just buried into the field here with that number 38. As I believe I saw the number 13 MA of Joshua Buckley sideways just a moment ago, but he's still out there. He's still the little engine that could, with that little bit of engine clanking noise. Those plumbers certainly hammering away as he comes down past the flag stand here. We will be 35 laps officially completed here as we work lap number 36. Race leader out front and out of turn number 4. He'll complete another one, but here comes Dalton Williamson. He has now pulled back in the number 989 of Scott Duncan. So this is going to be a battle here soon as Duncan is crossed up out of turn number 2. A little bit of sideways, had that fishtail. That's exactly what Dalton Williamson likes to see as he starts to approach that second place car.
He does, and it looks like that right rear might be a little unhappy on the Duncan automobile. As he drifts up the racetrack. That time that opens the inside line. Williamson unable to fill the hole that was available to him off of turn number 2. Everybody keeps that back in line as Feeney did make his way back around Alvencio and back there for the 11th position. And now Dan Butler has gotten by the number 25 of Haynes to move Butler to 8th as he works his way up there. And then the hardest charger so far, the number 99 of Mark Jenkins, up 7 positions from his starting spot of 15th here tonight.
Yeah, Jenkins, the driver out of Richmond, Virginia, last week really wanted to put on a good showing, and unfortunately late into that going had some issues. But as we talk about this race here tonight, closing in on the halfway point, we're just 10 laps away from halfway home here tonight. Michael Trevarthen has led since the drop of the green flag, but he has some challengers just into the rear view mirror right now. Williamson trying to still find a way around Duncan. Duncan having to block as best as he can to use that rear view mirror because it is full of that all-black number 1 of Dalton Williamson. Williamson just kind of sitting there, maybe letting him. He's one of those drivers that is good at just driving into the mirror, as there you see Duncan really throw a block down the back straightaway, and that's going to be an off-kilter kind of way to enter the corner there, but he holds on to that second position as we complete another lap here, as now Williamson tries to drive it in. He has the chance to get to the bottom here off corner number 2. He will be able to get that fender there. Now he just has to get to the corner, as there you see it. Duncan's going to drive it in just a little bit harder. Williamson back that corner up to try and get a good exit speed. He'll now be able to pull up to the door number on the 989, and this time out of turn number 2, they should be door to door down the back straightaway.
And that time Duncan gets a little bit loose there. He could hold Williamson down, but now that opens the door, and there goes Williamson into the number 2 spot. But meanwhile, Trevarthen has really stretched his legs up out the front of this one, a 1.1 second advantage over Williamson. So we'll see how quick that will close in, as we are just 5 laps away from the halfway point here tonight and Five Flags Speedway. Duncan relegated back to that 3rd spot. Bragg started to close in on him. He's left the number 18 of A.J. Hamill You got to know that wily veteran of the short track ranks, the 18 of Hamill, probably saving a little bit of tires back there, waiting to see if we get another yellow flag as they all work off the corner. It's been a great race so far. Very competitive all the way around.
Yeah, right now I'll call it 7 cars in this front group. We're going to tag Trevarthen back a second and slot him into the front group here. So it's Trevarthen, Williamson, Duncan, Bragg, Hamill, Stout, and Higgins, your top 7 competitors here as we complete lap number 47 here at Five Flags. Then it's Mark Jenkins, kind of the man that's running all by himself. He's got about 1.1 seconds over the number 21 of Dan Butler. There's Rob Haynes. That's how the top 10 is looking here as we close in on the halfway flags home here tonight. There you see the Rob Haynes entry in car number 25, the driver out of California, making select starts here on Thursday night with the short track Scrambler series. So it's always good when you get that red number 25 out onto the speedway. He's always one of those drivers that we love to sit here and talk to. And then you see Brandon Feeney in that Dodge Tim Hortons entry. He's up to the 11th spot, and Joshua Buckley in the 13 MA still out there riding around with the plumbers underneath the hood, making some music. He's running into the 12th spot as he just fenced it off turn number 4. So that's going to be Josh Buckley scraping the outside wall. And those tennis balls once again flying out into the stands. Pass, though, for third. Here is the Jiffy Lube entry. Here comes Dave Bragg.
Bragg down to the inside, trying to lube up that inside line. He'll get by squeaky clean. It opens the inside line for the 18 of A.J. Hamill. They'll make slight contact. Duncan sideways and into the outside wall as they make contact into turn number 3. And yellow flag number 2 comes out. Gotta wonder if that was a little bit of loose or just hard racing there. We'll have to look on the turn 3 racing replay.
There you see Scott Duncan, the rookie, rolling off the banking. He'll come immediately to pit road. The nose on that Ford all jacked up here tonight, and your race leaders right behind him. They will all come to pit lane here under the second caution flag of the evening, right at the halfway point. So a good halfway break for these drivers. Unfortunately, though, Scott Duncan is not going to like that one. A couple drivers will stay out here. Aiden Avecchione will stay out, and I believe Brandon Feeney also will stay out here tonight at Five Flags. Let's take a look back here, though. That is not what we were looking for. There we go. As maybe not.
You didn't like the cones?
No. A.J. Hamill, Scott Duncan. There's the contact that was made, but I believe there's interference with her camera down the back straightaway, so we didn't see what really led up to that. As here we go, Duncan off the outside wall, comes down. Unfortunately, Hamill was down on the bottom side of the speedway. Duncan then making the abrupt right-hand turn. Let's see if we can get another angle of this. There you see the 31 get by there. That's Dave Bragg. There you see the sparks, and A.J. Hamill was to the inside of Duncan. Duncan tried to come down to protect that lane on the inside. Unfortunately, just barely, A.J. Hamill had the nose of that Mr. Confusion Motorsports entry in there. And, well, around goes Duncan as the field goes past.
Wonder if you can find some of those parts at the Butler. You pull it. City Park there in turn number 3 under.
Well, I can tell you this: you can't park there.
Right. But he can go to Checkered Flag Auto Supply and get his car all tuned up again for next week.
That's
or
right.
the next time that the super late models will be in action.
Well, that's the next question. When is the next time we see the super late models come out here on race night for our Checkered Flag Auto Supply Short Track Scrambler Series? Well, that is going to be October the 13th when we head to the Martinsville Speedway. Another great track for the super late models. We're going to do 100 laps at the Martinsville Speedway on October the 13th. I believe that is actually my mother's birthday, so fun fact for all the race fans out there. It'll be a couple weeks before we do see these cars back out onto the racetrack, so they'll have plenty of time to head over to the Checkered Flag Auto Supply and get those parts. Next week, though, September the 29th, we do head to the Concord Speedway for Project Confusion Night. I believe they're making right-hand turns.
All right. That'd be fun. The pace car's making a hard left-hand turn.
That's what we like to see. That means we're coming back here to restart here with Brandon Feeney and Aiden Avecchione on the front row. They have the old tires, 2 tires behind them. Both drivers going to jump it sideways, but we're ready to go racing to turn number 1. These drivers have to be mindful because the front 2 drivers, Feeney's going to get turned around into the outside wall down here, and it is chaos. One driver up over flipping down the back straightaway. That's the number 21, the Storm Magnet of Dan the Man Butler.
Yeah, big wreck, and you didn't even get the words out of your mouth, Roger, as the top two had not come down pit road on old tires. Gotta wonder if that was a factor in this big pileup off of turn number 2.
Well, let's watch it back. Rob Higgins is involved. There you see the 2 of Michael Trevarthen into the back of Brandon Feeney. He tries to check it up, but everybody's on go mode on the restart, and oh, look at the 21 of Dan Butler go flying past that camera shot. Butler went up over. Let's ride on board here with Dan Butler. I believe we're going to lose our camera here with the number 21 of Butler. He was on the outside, and the hole just closed, and yep, see our camera. Rough, wild ride for the 21 of Dan Butler. As I believe that is Rob Higgins in the car number 40. He was to the outside. Butler got into him. Right on board Brandon Feeney here. This is looking back at the field as he comes into the corner. Not able to get back to the throttle, but Trevarthen was ready to go.
And just the slightest of contact.
It really was, but those older tires, they're up to temperature, but they've been used and abused here tonight. And just took that little contact, and around went the number 38 of Brandon Feeney.
We'll have to wait and see how this one shakes out. I do believe that's going to put Aiden Ovechcion on the point here in the 271. Dave Braggs looks like he's second. Dalton Williamson, I believe, got through that pretty much unscathed. Maybe a little bit of contact to the front of that number 1. The A.J. Hamill automobile, the Confusion Motorsports number 18. That's got some damage to the front end of that. So a lot of the heavy hitters that were up front in this one with a lot of damage right there. I know Michael Trevarthen also with damage on that right front. And it does not look like he's been down pit road to take a look at the damage. So maybe not feeling too much pain in the wheel. We'll have to find out once we go back green flag racing, but never want to see those big wrecks. Glad to see that Dan Butler is okay. He'll get the wave around and stay on the lead lap. So that was a very wild ride for the 21.
And one driver coming back out onto the racetrack, that's the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe number 5 of Brian Bianchi. He'll make his return back to the racing surface here. So he will be scored quite a few laps down, but he still has plenty of time because Rob Higgins is down on pit road. So that big wreck gives him the opportunity to possibly pick up some spots here tonight as we come to the conclusion of our third caution flag of the evening. It'll be Aiden Ovechcion, Dave Bragg, Dalton Williamson, and A.J. Hamill in the front row here as we're back racing at Pensacola. As the outside lane looking like it's going to roll pretty good this time. Dave Bragg will boot, scoot, and boogie to the race lead. He's going to bring A.J. Hamill around the outside. Aiden Ovechcion is going to get gobbled up. 2 spots, 1 lap.
Yeah, he used them as a pick to get around a fast Williamson. Now Williamson will dive to the outside as they will now cut back to the inside. Williamson trying to find a way around Aiden Ovechcion, but can't quite do it this time by. Stout into that 5th spot is now look at the number 13 of Josh Buckley working the outside. Now he's battling with the 0-2 of Trevarthen. So they're working there. The 7 of Lawrence working down to the inside. Can't quite do anything with him as now they work off a turn number 4. Just like that, the laps go by super fast when they get underneath the green flag racing here at the Five Flag Speedway.
Fastest lap of the evening just turned there by the BK Paints number 1, the driver out of Tampa, Florida. He's locked in the heated points championship battle with the driver that's just out in front of him. AJ Hamill leads the points championship battle between the 2 drivers coming into the night. It's AJ by 2, and then it's 8 points back there as the caution lights are on. It was 8 points back to Michael Trevarthen. Brandon Feeney having some problems in the Tim Hortons number 38 Dodge, as it looks like he has gone around to bring out the 4th caution flag of the evening here on lap number 68 here at the Five Flag Speedway. Let's take a look. Watch the number 38. He's inside the top 10. Oh, Joshua Buckley trying to grab some coffee from Tim's Hortons right there and goes around the 38. They just couldn't hand it off like a quarterback to the running back.
No, he just got him a little bit in the Timbits.
I see what you did there.
You ever been to You ever been to one of those, Tim Hortons?
Never, ever have I ever seen one down here in Pennsylvania. We got, those famous Wawas and Sheets and Rudders and a Turkey Hill, which is like a Kroger for you guys up north.
Yep. Tim Hortons, very good. Had them when I was out in Western New York.
I've only ever ventured out to Western New York once, over to Niagara Falls.
Well, you should have passed about 100 of them then.
Yeah, possibly didn't look for them, though. What I am looking for, though, is what the lineup is going to be. I'm waiting for the race control to pass that over to us so we can pop that back up onto the screen here for the race fans that are tuning in tonight. Western New York, Philly Edwards is out there. He's very familiar with Western New York. I believe he's also one of those Bills fans.
The Bills.
The Bills. So they're playing tonight, Al.
No, they're not playing tonight. I believe the Steelers and the Browns are playing tonight.
So that'd be a snooze fest. Got it. What's better than that snooze fest? Well, it's right here at the Five Flag Speedway. That is the running order. I have been told that is officially the running order here tonight at Five Flags. It'll be Dave Bragg, the driver out of Canada, in the Jiffy Lube entry. Then it'll be A.J. Hamill, the driver out of New York or Vermont, depending on what side of the border he wants to look at this week. And then it's going to be Dalton Williamson, Eric Stout, Mark Jenkins, Michael Trevarthen, Joshua Buckley, Bob Higgins, Dan Butler, and Brandon Feeney will restart back into the 10th position. Aiden Alvecchione, I believe, has now come to pit road, so he will be on the freshest tires out of the group when we do go back racing. We should get the one-to-go marker this time by here, and it'll be 72 laps completed when we do go back racing here, so still got a little bit of time left, so we'll see if Aiden Alvecchione and those brand-new tires can come through the field. Last car that is on the lead lap, that is the 7. Doyle Lowrance was the driver that did get the Lucky Dog award that time under the caution flag. So Doyle Lowrance is back out onto the lead lap here with the Raven Graphics number 7 as they come into turn 3 and 4, the restart this time.
Hamill and Bragg will get through the restart zone as the iRacing pace car makes the hard left hand to the safety of pit road. Green flag is up, and we're ready to go. And A.J. Hamill ready to go. He explodes onto the front row. Let it for a moment down in the turn number 1. Now falls back to that number 2 position. Here comes Dalton Williamson trying to fill the hole on the inside. It's your top 2. Still raced wheel to wheel off of turn number 4.
It'll be the 31 of Bragg back to the stripe first, but he had a little bit of wheel spin that time off turn number 4. Dalton Williamson is right there and hot to trot behind him. Mark Jenkins now. It'll be A.J. Hamill across the nose of the number 1. A.J. Hamill comes to a rest on the inside retaining wall. No caution flag has been thrown here just yet. He'll get it refired, and unfortunately spins it around trying to get that car going again. We'll see if the caution comes out. It'll be Dave Bragg, Dalton Williamson, Eric Stout, Mark Jenkins, and Michael Trevarthen, as it looks like the 18 of A.J. Hamill will stay out. He will stay down to the bottom side. One car spinning out of the turn. That'll be the number 6 machine with 25 laps to go. Eric Stout turns it around off turn number 4.
And that is good news for the A.J. Hamill fans out there, because as long as he did not hit anything when the yellow flag came out, he should be the recipient of that lucky dog, putting him back on the lead lap. But a very tough break for that driver, and a bigger break here for the drivers involved with Eric Stout, who was running inside the top 5.
Yeah, Stout was running into the 5th position, I do believe. Let's watch it back here and see. He was battling with Mark Jenkins and Michael Trevarthen. Jenkins down to the bottom side. Oh, and the 6 just got a little loose, tried to save it. Trevarthen with a little contact there, and then you see Duncan come in there. Look at Bianchi. He's going to run it straight into the inside retaining wall. Eric Stout trying to loop it around as fast as he can because, boy, he knew he had a good car here tonight, and unfortunately, it's not going to end the way he wants. Look at the 18 of A.J. Hamill down there, and the sideways comes the 6. Little slap in the door there from the 2, and unfortunately, big carnage down in turn number 1.
We talked about how fast this racetrack is, and down the front stretch, it clogs up. We go to South Boston, and we always worry about a big wreck happening there because it gets clogged up here. We'll take that front stretch, put it here at Five Flags, and then you're going probably another 50 to 60 mile an hour faster. Things happen in a hurry, and the contact very, very hard here on the front stretch.
A couple drivers coming to pit road here under this 5th caution flag of the evening. Brandon Feeney, Eric Stout, Scott Duncan, AJ Watkins, and Rob Higgins all down onto the pit road here under our 5th caution flag of the evening. Race fans, though, are you located in the Ayer, Massachusetts area? Well, there's only one place to shop for auto parts. That's the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, located in Ayer, Massachusetts at 103 Park Street in Ayer. You need just, brake pads for your car, rotors. How about some struts? Well, if you need those, the Checkered Flag Auto Supply has it with an array of oils for your car to keep them lubricated and running right to stay out onto the road. Race car parts also available at your request at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. Also, get your glass cleaner because Dalton Williamson is supplying the glass cleaner at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. We thank the Checkered Flag Auto Supply for not only being the sponsor here on Thursday night with our Short Track Scrambler series, but also being our sponsor on Monday night with the NASCAR portion of our Scrambler series. So, Al, if you didn't catch that, anything you need, the Checkered Flag Auto Supply has.
Well, I thought that was a given. That's where I get all my automotive needs.
Just like the iRacing.com pace car lights, they've blown out here. I think we can get them there at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply.
They must be a Chevy part.
I believe it looks more like a Ford Toyota. It's a Ford
Really
Yoda.
good. Yes.
But as those lights are extinguished, it'll be Dave Bragg, Dalton Williamson, Mark Jenkins, all the way from the tail of the field, all the way up inside the top 3. He'll restart in that black number 99. Michael Trevarthen back to the front of the field here also. Joshua Buckley will restart 5th, and look at Bob Higgins in the Checkered Flag Auto Supply number 30. He is sitting into the 6th position here tonight. Green flag pending. It'll be 20 laps, 19 to go as we restart. Battle for the race lead down the back straightaway. Dalton Williamson will be the driver that will nose ahead of the Jiffy Lube number 31 of Dave Bragg. So with 18 to go, new race leader for the first time. It's the number 1 there of Dalton Williamson. Williamson is the race leader. As we have the battle, that's for the 3rd spot now, because here is Mark Jenkins trying to hold off the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. Remember, Trevarthen has some damage on that number 2. As the 99 is clean as a whistle here tonight in that all-black number 99, driver out of Richmond, Virginia, trying to have a podium here tonight. It's been a while since he's parked it on the podium, but he'll lose the battle there, as now he'll fall back into the clutches of Joshua Buckley. And look at Aiden Alvecchione. He has been from involved in a wreck to now battling to try to get to the top 5. He is running into what is the 6th position. Bob Higgins has fallen back to the 11th spot. Noel Lovrance is 8th, Dan Butler is 9th, and AJ Hamlin rounds down the top 10. That's how they run with just 16, now 15 to go at the line.
Yeah, 15 laps to go, and it is a good battle at the front of this one. Bragg's really putting the pressure to Dalton Williamson. Williamson not able to run away and hide after passing him. Maybe slight contact that time through turns 3 and 4. Williamson still your race leader, but Michael Trevarthen starting to reel in that top 2. He's throwing out the line. He's got it hooked to the back bumper, and he's drawn ever so closely. Jenkins runs in that 4th spot, and he's closing in as well, as the top 4 cars have broken out as the battle for 5th starts to rage on.
Yeah, that's the brand new Rev Esports number 13MA. I don't know if you got to see the breaking news, as we're a little late to the news category this week, but Joshua Buckley, announcement coming soon. That's what he said the other week. He has officially joined the Rev Esports group, so the new member, now a 3-car team here on Thursday night. Joshua Buckley getting a little alliance from the Rev drivers. Right now, those Rev drivers are all in 1st, 3rd, and 5th as they currently run, but Aiden Alvecchione right to the back bumper of Joshua Buckley. Maybe a little bit of a bump there. Now he'll get to the inside down into turn number 1. Can Aiden Alvecchione get a top 5 yet here tonight?
He is trying to work underneath them, and the driver is working his way back up through the field after going through the spin cycle. His Hamill already back inside the top 10 as he just took the 9th spot away from Butler as they work down here in the corner. So AJ Hamill back to 9th, trying to not lose as many points as possible. Every position means what? We have 9 laps to go at the stripe as Aiden goes to the outside around Josh Buckley for the 5th position.
Couldn't get him on the inside, so he went to the outside. Remember, he has the fresher tires between the two drivers here, and those tires are working pretty hard right now for Aiden Alvecchio to try and get himself a solid finish here tonight at the Five Flags Speedway. He should be able to carry some momentum. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle that time. There are 8 laps to go. Nothing has changed at the front of the field. You're watching the best battle on the racetrack right now, which is Joshua Buckley and Aiden Alvecchio. Aiden trying to pull a top 5 out here tonight at Florida, and he will actually pass up that number 13 of Joshua Buckley. So Aiden Alvecchio into the top 5 with just a couple of laps to go here tonight. AJ Hamel just picked off Bob Higgins. Also 7 laps to go, though nothing changed out front as your race leader is Dalton Williamson, and about 2 car lengths behind him is Dave Bragg, and another 2 car lengths back then. You're going to find Michael Trevarthen with just 6 laps to go.
The 6 laps to go as now they start to work there. Bragg still within striking distance, only about a car length back from the number 1 of Williamson, as the Rev Esports team trying to make it a 1-2 finish here tonight. Bragg's right now the only car in between of making
Caution
it happen
lights
is
are
yellow.
on the speedway. We're going to head to overtime as the number 21 of Dan Butler, unfortunately, has found the inside retaining wall down in 3 and 4. So with 5 laps to go, the caution flag flies. And you know who's going to sit in the catbird seat, Al? Aiden Alvecchio, remember, has those fresher tires. He'll restart 5th on this restart in overtime here tonight at Five Flags. And man, knock on some wood, Al. I just said it. Knock on some wood.
Okay.
Let's check this replay first here. We're getting a little excited now.
Simmer down there, Roger.
21 of Butler got a little boop in the back end from A.J. Watkins. Not a battle for position, but he gave him a little old bump and run down in 4. And around will go, the number 21 of Dan Butler. So Butler around to bring the caution flag out. Right on board here with Butler. He made the pass on A.J. Watkins down the back straightaway. And then, looks like Watkins was just back to the throttle sooner than Dan Butler was, and Butler going to get parked against the inside retaining wall.
Tough break for the driver of the 21. That did give Rob Haynes to the number 25 back on the lead lap, as he was the free pass car.
His car has seen better days. It's a little crinkled up, that Toyota Camry.
It has. He was involved in that big wreck on the front stretch to front end, a little bit clipped over to the right side. So sure, other than some body damage, maybe some suspension damage on that number 25. So he works down the back stretch, but nonetheless on the lead lap. And I always say you have to be on the lead lap in order to have a shot. And if you're on the lead lap, you always have a shot. So we've seen stranger things happen before.
You know, yes, we have. And especially tonight, I think if you look outside, Al, I think it's a full moon. So this overtime restart is definitely going to be one of those restarts to watch here as we're getting ready. It will be Dalton Williamson, Dave Bragg, Michael Trevarthen, Mark Jenkins, Aiden Alvecchio, and Joshua Buckley, your front 6 drivers. And it's Doyle Lowrance, AJ Hamel, Bob Higgins, Eric Stout is how they will line up here. We should get the 1-to-go marker this time. We do have a three tries at an overtime restart here tonight at the Five Flags Speedway if we were to need 3 attempts, I should say, at that green-white checker. So this will be attempt number 1 as we have officially passed the scheduled distance here tonight at the Five Flags Speedway. Let's see if Dalton Williamson, maybe Dave Bragg, Michael Trevarthen, Mark Jenkins, Aiden Alvecchio, Joshua Buckley, maybe. He's still got the plumbers down there. The car doesn't sound any better, but hey, he's still out there, and he's got a shot here tonight.
Yeah, his car has been pretty quick here in the later stages of this race as well. Pace car down and away, going to hopefully keep it behind the pit wall for the remainder of this one. As the green flag will come back up. Dalton Williamson and Bragg, slow restart. Good jump to the outside, not to the inside. Here comes Trevarthen. There's a 99 that Jenkins gave the number 31 of Bragg a little bumper tag. Everybody able to make it out of that one alive as they head into turn number 3.
This time by as they come across the start-finish line, it'll be the white flag presented by the Cold Peppers Bakery and Cafe. The final trip around the speedway here. Dalton Williamson is out front in the battle for second, though. Dave Bragg on the outside trying to hold a podium spot here tonight. Michael Trevarthen trying to take second away at the line. It will be Dalton Williamson with the win here at the Five Flag Speedway. Dave Bragg, Michael Trevarthen finished 2 and 3. Mark Jenkins, Aidan Alvecchione will finish there in the 5th position. AJ Hamill all the way up to 6th after a spin and a lap down. That'll be Josh Buckley, Doyle Lowrance, Eric Stout, Bob Higgins, Rob Haynes, AJ Watkins, Trey Mitz, Dan Butler, Rob Higgins, Brandon Feeney, Scott Duncan, and Brian Bianchi. Round down our 18-car field here tonight. There's your winner, the driver out of Tampa, Florida. The 3-time champion here on Thursday night will pick up the big W for his 3rd win of the season. The Rev Esports Group finishing 1 and 3 on the podium here tonight. We'll take a quick step away here at the Five Flags Speedway, and we'll be back here with your post-race show brought to us by our friends at Holy Shirts and Pants.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back here to the Five Flags Speedway race fans. 104 laps, official number here tonight that Dalton Williamson had to run to pick up the big W here tonight. We'll talk to him in just a moment here with our Holy Shirts and Pants post-race show. The top 3 drivers here tonight, including your winner, will pick up a shirt that is holy and a pants that are holy here tonight at the Five Flags Speedway. Dalton has officially picked up 3 Holy Shirts and Pants victories this season. Let's go down trackside though and talk to our top competitors here after 104 completed laps. Let's start things off with the driver of car number 2. And well, Mike, it may not have been the picture perfect night, as of course our camera crew just has to put that you were in the outside wall here. How are you able to regroup after that crash on the back straightaway and come back to finish here on the podium?
Yeah, a little bit of a rough race there. We put a lot of practice in this week at Five Flags. Car unloaded every time we got here super fast. Obviously missed the mark on qualifying just a little bit. Still decent qualifying spot there. Hated they got into Brandon there. I know they didn't take tires. I mean, I don't know what else I could have done except throw it into third or, stomp on the brakes. But we were rolling the corner and got into him there, which ended up, putting us in the fray, and you seen what happened from there. But yeah, the car was still quick, was able to battle back, get back up there and battle for the win. I don't think I had anything for Dalton there towards the end, but I don't know, man, this car was on rails tonight.
What would you have needed here at the end of this one to possibly pick up a win here tonight at Five Flags?
I think I'd have had to pick up the rear of his car, move him up a half a lane, and take it. But him being a teammate, not going to do that unless I really need to. But like I said, don't want to really race that way. I wasn't going to do it to Dave either. Just ended up getting lucky on that restart and able to dive to the bottom. Hats off to Dave. Good race for him as well. Yeah, great night, bro.
It was a great night for you to look great in the points category. How do you feel, though? This was the first trip with the super late model here to the Five Flags Speedway. Now next week we start going back to some cars that we know. The SK Modified comes back out at Concord next week.
Concord, a tricky track, bro. Like I said, that could be a really good race, and we can stretch out a little bit, or it can be a disaster. So kind of like Daytona or Talladega, I would call that one a crapshoot, in my opinion.
Well, I guess you might want to get over to that tricky little short track triangle to start practicing with your compadres out there. So let's get this one rolling. Who's on the side of the number 2 here tonight that you got to thank for another competitive race car?
Definitely big shout out to BK Paints, Rev Sports, Platinum RV, McConey Setup Shops, Dalton, Josh. We put the work in with the practice and put the time in, and obviously it shows up on the boards week after week, man. So like I said, it's really good to unload fast cars and to be fast every week. So hats off to the team as a group, as a team effort. Like I said, I obviously couldn't do it without them. You in the booth, Roger. Enjoy watching the Turn 3 Racing Network. I see Alice here tonight, so glad to have him on board. And give a shout out to the Rev Sports drivers, our red light racing drivers, and give a shout out to the family at home.
There you hear it tonight. Michael Trevarthen may not come back with a perfectly straight number 2 machine, but he'll finish in P number 3 here tonight. So that's a great run for the driver out of Florida. The driver, though, that hails many, many miles from Florida. He drives car number 31 here tonight. Dave, a great run for you in late race here tonight. You found yourself out front, but you're going to be relegated back to a P number 2 finish. Your best finish here with Red Light Racing.
Hey, that's nothing to not write home about. I'm super excited to be up here in the podium. Just being able to bang bumpers with Dalton and Mike is just unreal.
An unreal fast car that you unloaded here at the Five Flags Speedway. Is this something that you had circled on the calendar when you saw the schedule released in the preseason?
Definitely track me and the boys always are making races at, running super late models, anything you can think of. So I definitely know the track like the back of my hand at this point, which definitely really helped. Coming in with a lot of confidence is huge for this, and just being able to hold it all together and bring a run together was definitely nice.
Now you're way down in the point standings here in the early stages of this season. Well, I say way down, but you're 10th, so you're about middle of the pack, really. Tonight's really going to help in the point standings, because some of those drivers ahead of you in the point standings either not here tonight or found themselves in that big wreck. How did you keep yourself out of that big wreck to have yourself a good night?
With Feeney starting up front there, I got a little nervous on him being on used tires and having the other guy out on the outside. I forget who it was, Aiden, I believe. They kind of checked up a little bit there. I was able to get to the outside. I got tagged in the rear. I thought I was going around. Ended up holding it together, and it was just really watching the ticker, pretty much hoping that Dalton and Mike wasn't going to come running. They came storming pretty fast, though, but it was good that I was able to hold it with them.
You were able to hold on to it. I believe this is your first podium finish, I do believe. Am I served correct?
It is, sir.
Well, hey, congratulations on your first podium finish, but we got to ask one question. How's the baby girl doing?
She's doing awesome. She started school just a couple of weeks ago, making lots of friends. Her health is absolutely unreal, and my family can't thank you guys enough for all the support from all the boys. Being able to run that race for her, you guys just pushed her over the moon, and she's always cheering, watching from the living room, so...
Well, we hope she's cheering here tonight. Before we let you go, there's some people on the side of this, number 31, that make this all possible back home week in and week out to get you here to the racetrack and as fast as these cars are. So now's the time to shine.
Yeah, definitely a huge shout out to the boys down at the shop at Jiffy Lube there. I'm actually just coming back from COVID, and they've held it down for me, and it's been absolutely unreal with the support they've shown for us. And then I got to thank Big Bruce. He's done all my paint schemes for me this year. He's just pumping them out for fun, and we're having a blast doing it.
There you hear it tonight. The driver out of Canada here tonight, the Jiffy Lube entry, Bragg Motorsports, number 31. Dave Bragg finishing on the podium for the first time here. Congratulations to Dave Bragg and Michael Trevarthen as they finish second and third. But Al, I believe you're standing down trackside with our Holy Shirts and Pants winner here tonight at the Five Flag Speedway.
Yeah, we're down here in the Holy Shirts and Pants victory lane with the driver of the number 1, the driver out of Tampa, Florida. This is Dalton Williamson. And Dalton started 6th, not your best qualifying effort, and it took a little bit of time to get up there. But once you took the lead over on those final restarts, it was, it wasn't easy. You had some competition breathing down your neck.
Yeah, I was definitely sweating there at the end. It's that was one of the tougher super late model races I've ran in a while, and definitely was sweating tonight. That was definitely really enjoyable.
You got involved in that wreck at lap 58 when we had that midway break. We'll call it a midway break when the yellow flag number 2 came out on the evening. Had got a little bit of right front damage on the race car. Were you worried that it was going to upset the car and the balance that you had at that point in the feature?
Well, it knocked the toe out a little bit, and the front end was definitely a tick tighter than what it was there at the beginning of the race. And here, that's never a good thing, as this track tightens up as it takes rubber. So there at the end, I'm sure you guys all know how I am. I like free race cars. So there at the end, I was really stressing because I don't like having tight race cars.
Yeah, we saw Dave be able to get to your back bumper and give you a couple of taps there. To almost got there to the 3-tap Teddy rule, and were you a little bit nervous that 31 was going to be able to get around you?
I was expecting a bump, to free me up a little bit and move me up. I have no problem with racing like that. I mean, Dave was definitely really quick tonight. Like he said, to come up here and run with us, that's something to be proud about, and especially to beat one of us is definitely something to be proud about.
Well, you're going to come home with the victory. Your teammate Mike going to come home in the 3rd position. And, well, old Granny Hips, he had a top 10 as well. So, heard that he's a 3rd member of this team, or at least an alliance member there. So, good overall night for Rev Esports. And next week, you head to Concord in the SK Modified. Was to look at the mini tricky triangle there in Concord, North Carolina.
To unload a really fast race car, because I normally run really, really good there. And I think I've won every time we've been there in this series, so I'm hoping to continue it. I'm pretty good there, so I mean, we'll see what happens.
Well, congratulations on your win here tonight. We'll roll out the orange carpet for you. You know how Rogers has to have everything orange around here on Thursday nights. Let you thank all your sponsors and all the people that make it all possible behind the scenes.
First and foremost, Turn 3 Racing Network, you and Roger for broadcasting tonight. You guys do great work. Shout out to Dave. I'm happy to hear his little girl's doing better. That's definitely really good to hear. As far as sponsors, Rev Esports, Platinum RV Services, BBR, and Nitro Racing, and McConey Setup Shop, and then shout out to the family.
Well, congratulations on your win. We hope to see you in 1 week's time at the Concord Speedway for the little SK Open Wheel Modified action. Congratulations on picking up the win here tonight.
Thank you.
There you have it. That will wrap up our Holy Shirts and Pants post-race show, Roger. And what was a very exciting, we saw a little bit of everything here at Five Flags.
A lot of great racing here tonight from these drivers in the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Short Track Scrambler Series here for Red Light Racing. Man, with this one in the books, and this was a big race here at the home of the Five Flags Speedway. Next week, we're headed back north. We're headed to the North Carolina area, the Concord Speedway Project Confusion Night with the SK Modified 100-lap feature event before we head over to the Lucas Oil Raceway on October the 6th, and then we head to the Martinsville Speedway. The next time we will see the super late model back out onto the raceway before we head to the Big Wiggle 100 at the LA Coliseum on October the 20th, before we head to North Wilkesboro Speedway then for the 505 Motorsports 100 before Halloween. So with those next races coming up, it's a lot of great racing here for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Short Track Scrambler Series. But man, Al, it's been a great one here tonight at the Five Flag Speedway. Closing thoughts here?
I just think it was a great one. We saw, a good championship battle. Dalton Williamson's going to win this battle. AJ Hamill rallies back for a 6th place finish here tonight, so not losing too much points, which could have been a very disastrous end to his night. So the championship battle, it'll move forward to Concord next week for Project Confusion night. But I think just the talent level that's in here, you talk about how Dalton Williamson, Michael Trevarthen, AJ Hamill, maybe the big three. We got a lot of guys that are catching up and showing a lot of speed here at Five Flags tonight. I'd like to see if their momentum will carry forward to Concord next week.
So for us closing here tonight at the Five Flags Speedway, we got to thank all the race fans that tuned in here tonight. Of course, we got to thank the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, Red Light Racing, and all the sponsors here on Thursday night. But for everybody at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, everybody with Red Light Racing, and all of us behind the scenes here at the Turn 3 Racing Network, that's Al Smith. I'm Roger Muth, and we hope you both enjoyed tonight's broadcast here from the virtual Five Flags Speedway. And until we see you next time, race fans, everybody stay safe, and we'll see you in Turn 3.